Good evening, everyone. How are we all? Good evening. Welcome to our live on Facebook. I'm just checking we are now live on Facebook. It takes a while.
Yeah, we'll just get someone to drop a wee
drop a wee
hello
comment
in the chat
to let
box.
us
That
know
would be
you're
the
here.
thing. Yeah.
Oh, I believe we are live. So if you are out there watching us this evening, welcome to our little live chat about Lawn and Auburn Healthy Options and our 5 to 10 campaign. Do send a wee hello in the chat comment to let us know you're watching. I'm watching the comments on my phone so that I get to see who's out and about watching us. Oh, Jill says hello. Anna says hello. Phil Crystal says hello. So we know it's working.
Very good. Yeah. Very good. Very good.
Hello, Jill. Hello, Anna. How are you both this evening?
Shall we introduce ourselves first, Phil?
I think we should, Emma. Yes, you can go first.
So my name's Emma Grant. I've been working for Healthy Options for, oh goodness, it must be about 7 years now. I was invited to come and do some fundraising by one of their directors, Roy Clooney. So I've been doing fundraising for the charity for a good number of years now, and it's each year it's just more and more that is needing funded. But just rolling back slightly, if people don't know who Healthy Options are, we're a charity based in Oban, and our vision is to support and help people to live healthier lives through a mixture of sort of exercise programs and prescriptions into your local community, sort of making links back into hobbies and stuff that you enjoy doing before, get you more active and healthy, mentally and physically.
Fantastic.
And you?
And me?
Who are you?
Who am I? That's a very good question, somebody. So yes, I'm Phil. I'm involved with quite a lot of projects in Oban, and I have recently joined as a volunteer with Healthy Options, doing their 5 to 10 community fundraising campaign.
I'm watching a Frozen Phil now.
Oh yeah, I'm not. I'm watching a Frozen Emma. Technology's wonderful. So yeah, that's what I do. I am involved with the 5 to 10 campaign as a volunteer and do lots of the social media and WhatsApp stuff for that. So you've probably seen me popping on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter to talk about the campaign. Now, I think Emma's frozen. If somebody could confirm that it's Emma that's frozen and not me in the comments, that would be lovely. Anna agrees that Emma is frozen, which is fantastic. The joys of technology. Emma has frozen. She's decided to, now she's just left us completely. So Emma will hopefully join me in a few moments, because like I say, Emma's disappeared. But we're basically talking about Healthy Options and about the fundraising campaign 5 to 10, which we've been doing a lot of work with on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, as well as in the community as well. And we've had a lot of fundraisers doing fundraising for us, and Emma has been one of those as a volunteer role as well. You can find out more about the campaign by visiting www.lawnhealthyoptions.co.uk/campaign. And you can find lots of different ways to get involved with the campaign. One of our taglines is give, share, do. And that's 3 different ways you can get involved. You can give to us directly, whether that be a one-off donation or whether that be a monthly direct debit. You can share. So if you're watching us this evening, give us a wee wave, give us a wee shout, and share this video at the end of it to all your friends and family on Facebook to let them know all about Lawn and Auburn Healthy Options and about our campaign. And of course, you can do as well. So the big part of do is that you can do a fundraising event for us. We've had lots of people doing fundraising events for us, like I say, including Emma. You may have heard of a few of them. We had Liz Mason did steps throughout February, tried to get out to do 1,500 steps, no, 15,000 steps even, every day throughout February. She's finished that challenge. She's done absolutely amazingly. And she's nearly raised £2,000 for us, which is fantastic. So that's one of our fundraisers. We've also had Graham. He's walked up Ben Laura, the equivalent of going up Ben Nevis, which is fantastic as well. And he raised quite a lot of money for us doing that. We've had people doing wild swimming. Yes, in February, there was people going wild swimming every day for us in February, even having to break the ice to get into the water to do their wild swimming to raise funds for us, which was amazing. And he has Emma back. Hello again, Emma.
Now, I've been watching you. I've been watching you, Phil, keeping up to what was going on. And I've got to say, for off the cuff chat, keeping it going.
It's not off the cuff. I've rehearsed this. I knew you were going to freeze.
That was 10 out of 10, mate. That was 10 out of 10.
Of the options has actually commented. Massive thank you to all our fundraisers. They're all amazing. I believe that's Jill that's commented that. And I totally agree with that as well.
Do you know there's a sort of gratitude practice that I do where you just sort of say thank you, thank you, thank you. And it just kind of, you know, I don't know, it's what I do. So I'm watching the frozen image of myself. And I was like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. It wasn't like, or
it could have been a lot worse. At least it was a nice image of you frozen.
You know, when you were wee and your mum used to say, you know, your face will like get fixed in that position with the wind or something. You know, it's like, this is the reality of Zoom, isn't it? You just get fixed in this position. So
yes, you do worry about what face you're pulling when your camera freezes.
Yeah. So I'm just going to smile. I'm going to smile now like this and just talk like this for the entire time. Is that okay? Yes. Just in case, right? Just in case.
It is. Anna has put as well that our fundraisers are amazing. Oh, sorry, are awesome. I can't even read the comments.
Yeah. So I was doing this wee fundraising challenge.
Tell us about
it. So I am someone who has shied away from exercise for quite a lot of my life. My parents are both smokers, and you know, we didn't do it at all. I mean, we sort of had PE, and I remember, you know, trying to hide in the changing rooms while everyone put their shorts on and, you know, jogged off into the countryside or whatever. You know, I'd be the one trying to, you know, it's like, as soon as I hit puberty, it was like, yay, I can have my period like at least 2 times a month, you know, and get out of sports that way. So, and one of the things for me was I always go red in the face when I exercise. So it was this real, you know, self-consciousness about it. So there's a bit of I think there's a bit of a journey that some of us certainly have to go on in terms of not caring so much about how we look. And I don't know, I mean, you can see the comments, Phil, I can't see comments, but it'd be interesting to hear whether that resonates from people in the chat, whether that is actually one of the barriers to exercise is how you look. Because for me, that was certainly, you know, that really certainly was an issue. And, you know, I'm not the slimmest person in the gym, put it that way.
I know a lot of people do feel like that. When I've been doing the podcasts that go onto Auburn FM, a lot of the people I've been interviewing on that has said that they were worried and scared about going to the gym at first because they felt like it was going to be lycra-clad athletes that they were going to be faced with. It's Anna agrees that it is the case of that. It can be daunting, it can be scary going into a gym or doing exercise in front of people because you feel very self-conscious about that.
So a lot of the stuff that so the challenge that I did, it was obviously not gym based at the moment, but the challenge that I did, I called it mix and match for motivation. So because I also get bored, I get bored so easily, and I don't particularly like listening to music as I'm running, or I kind of like to listen to the birds or just be aware of what's going on around me. So I just get bored so easily. So but I love walking. But then it's that thing of like I live in Taynull. So, you know, to go running, it's like, you know, you are seen. you know, you're seen going down the main road and you're seen going past Ian's shop, you know, and you always do this, or I always do this thing of, you know, it's quite good actually if people are walking past and suddenly it's like, oh, you pick up the pace and you try to stop yourself from looking like you're dying as you're running around. But anyway, one of my personal achievements during this whole thing was I actually ran my first 5K.
Wow.
Non-stop without stopping. Now,
Fantastic.
there was a lassie in a Zimmer frame that overtook me, but you know, I didn't stop running. No, there wasn't a lassie in the Zimmer frame. I actually I ran the whole way. And the first time that I did it, I actually got back round to the house because I did a circle. Got back round to the house, and it's like I'd set it up as being such a difficult thing to do in my head. I got back round to the house and I thought, I am not in enough pain. I'm not tired enough. It's been too fast. So I did a bit of a Forrest Gump and just kept on running because I was so determined
Oh dear.
to make sure that I had hit my 5K target. So I just kept on running and went past the house, and I could see one of my kids like looking out the window like, that's Mum, where's she up to? We're going to get supper tonight or not? So off I went down to the train, you know, down to the train station and back again. But you know, so I actually did 5.9K as my first.
There we go. And talking about doing keys and miles to do fundraising, Caroline Aikenhead has just put in the comments she's doing a three bridge challenge over the Connell Bridge and back, then all the way to the Cregan Bridge and all the way up and over the Ballyhoolish Bridge for healthy options. And It's called Callie's 3 Bridge Challenge on the 12th of April. And it's just over 30 miles.
30 miles. It's so impressive, isn't it, what people are doing?
One of our fundraisers.
Yeah. Well, I think what I love about this campaign is that people are able to sort of set their own targets. So like for me, that was a really big challenge to run a 5K. It's a really big challenge. My overall thing is to do an hour of exercise every day. Now, for someone like our exercise professionals like Katie or Rob, you know, they do that before they had their breakfast, you know. So it's all about like, what is your own personal challenge? And I think I think people are really, you know, aside obviously from raising money for our charity, I think people are really gaining a benefit for themselves. I mean, I know for me, like I really feel like because I've been doing this hour a day, and I'm not gonna, you know, there's some days where it's been really had to push myself to get out, but because it's 6 days in the week, I get up every day and I think, oh, what am I going to do? Not like before, like if I did 3 days in the week, it'd be, you know, oh, is today one of the days? And I'd make an excuse for it not being that day. But with 6 days in the week, the only day you're looking out for is the one where you might take a break. And even with that one, I'd end up doing something. So I really feel like I've kind of made that change, made that behavioral shift. And one of the big changes for me is actually getting up early in the morning and doing the early morning exercise. Again, that would be a question for folk in the chat, you know, whether they're enjoying, you know, whether they enjoy the morning exercise, or, you know, what sort of times they like to get out, and also like how many times in the week. Because I don't know, I find a real benefit to it just being, you know, six days in the week. So
you're doing 6 days, and how long was your challenge over? Was it a month, 2 months?
It was actually close to 12 weeks, which so I started it like January 15th, just a week after we'd started the campaign, and I was doing it right up to the end of the campaign, up to the end of March. So I've done 8 weeks. I finished today, so I've got another 3 weeks to go. So I think, I mean, I'm going to put it out there now, so that's me accountable. I think that's me. I'm going to be doing exercise now. And I've been really enjoying, some folk might have heard of the new wee club that started up, the Happy Wee Health Club. And it's great. It's absolutely great for, you know, for doing the Zoom stuff. I think they'll go to a mix of in-person stuff once we're past this bit in our lives. But the Zoom stuff is great because I just get up and do a wee half hour of body balance. Or this morning I did grit for the first time, which was Well, put it this way, I turned the camera off.
And why not? And why not? We've got a wee question for you, Emma. I think it's from Jill, which is, what was the toughest bit in your challenge, Emma, and how did you overcome it?
The toughest bit in my challenge. Getting out of bed this morning for grit. Oh, that was, I mean, maybe that's just the most recent because that's the one I can remember.
Yes.
But the grit starts at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And the alarm went off at, so I've been joining Body Balance generally at 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
And the alarm went off at 20 to 6. And there's all these reasons going through your head as to, you know, it's Friday, you're doing it, you had a tough, all these reasons. And then I just, what I reminded myself was how good I feel after having done Body Balance. And I've got this hour of pure quiet bliss in the house before everyone gets up. And that actually got me up at night because I knew that I would feel good afterwards.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Fantastic. That's amazing. All amazing to hear. And I know a few of our other fundraisers have put comments in, including Carolyn Aikenhead, who I mentioned before, Rosemary Young, of course. Correct us if I'm wrong, Rosemary. Did you walk to Crieff? Well, you didn't, but you did. Is that correct for Rosemary, if I remember rightly? Without looking at my notes. Emma, you might know.
Yeah. Rosemary did. She did this. She was inspired. She was actually one of the first people to set up. She was the first person to set up Sponsorship Page. And, you know, on the back of that, we got the Oban Times to start doing sort of human interest stories. Yeah. And then on the back of that, other people saw what Rosemary had done and, you know, were inspired to do it. So the whole idea of the virtual walk to Crieff, I think Rosemary set herself the task of doing 3 miles a day, and she started off in December. So she had 25 days up to Christmas. So she was going to get to her daughters for Christmas. So it was a really lovely wee story. And then that whole virtual idea inspired one of our other fundraisers, Graham Cameron, to do a virtual walk up Ben Nevis, wasn't it?
Yes,
so
he's
gone up
it was
and
the
down.
Equivalent of Ben. He did Ben Laura's to the equivalent of Ben Nevis. Liz has put that she felt good after her walks that she was doing as part of her fundraising as well.
Yeah. So it's certainly it really doesn't. It doesn't feel. It feels very much like I'm doing it for me, as well as doing it for the charity. It's like the benefits are huge. I think it's been really good.
Which is fantastic.
So just with because I work as a fundraiser for Healthy Options as well, like I said at the start. So just with that on and not necessarily promoting my own page, but you've heard from Liz today, you've heard from Caroline Aikenhead, we've mentioned I think Anna did a challenge. Did Anna not do a chat? I can't remember Anna did. Anyway, there's lots of others, you know, we talked about Graham Cameron, and Rosemary, of course. Now, Rosemary's page, I think, is one of the few that is actually inactive now on the website, so you won't find Rosemary's page. But everyone else's page, if you go onto our Healthy Options website, which we'd encourage you to do, www.healthyoptions.co.uk, and then you go onto the campaign page. From there, you get directed into a donate button, which takes you into the local giving site. And from there, you can go into the fundraiser and you can see myself or Graham Cameron or Liz's page is still open. Liz has done amazingly. I mean, Liz and Graham are like our top sort of in terms of amounts of money coming in. I think between the two of them, they are basically funding 7 clients.
Which is amazing.
Which is pretty
Of course,
good.
Karen also did one. We forgot Karen.
Yeah.
Anna and Jill's just reminded us Karen did one.
Yeah, Karen did one. I don't think Karen's page is open anymore either.
I don't think it is. And we've got a question from Julianne. Can anyone join Healthy Options?
So with Healthy Options, you need to get referred in. We used to do a thing of self-referral, but with all the sort of changing needs around COVID, we've pulled away from doing the self-referrals. But what you can do, so who is it that's asked, Phil? What's the name of the
It's
lassie?
somebody called Julianne. I'll make sure you get to contact
Julianne, right?
details
Okay.
after this. I'll make sure
So what
to...
you can do is you can contact your GP or any other health professional. So if you have links with physio or dietitian or any allied health professional, you can go to them or go to your GP and ask for a referral into our service. And it's a 12-week program that we deliver, and it's a wonderful mixture of, it's a very holistic program. So it has self-management techniques in there to really empower you to make those changes yourself. You work on one-to-one with one of our exercise professionals to come up with a program that suits you, that is good for you. And when I've been chatting with the guys who are frontline staff, what they talk about quite a lot is reconnecting people back to hobbies and interests that they had before. So, if you're really not a gym person, but you're a walker or you're a, whatever it is, then it's a question of doing the stuff that inspires you, that will keep you going. So for me, to be honest, even if the gym had been open, I would not have based my challenge around the gym.
Mm-hmm.
So I based mine around getting out with my son playing football twice a week. I've always enjoyed step class, and Katie in the healthy in the
Happy Way Health Club.
Thank you, Phil. They do that class, and I do yoga, or I do yoga on and off. And body balance is basically like speeded up yoga. I'm sure that's the wrong description of it, but that's how it feels.
So we've got a couple of comments there. The pharmacy can also refer you.
Ah, yes.
And
okay.
Someone has been referred by their physio, but I haven't heard anything yet. How long does it usually take, roughly? Obviously, it might be slightly different with it being COVID times.
Yeah,
or we can get someone to respond to you directly. I'll make a note of your name as well.
Yeah. Rather than putting out an absolute time now, because I might get that wrong. I don't know what our current waiting list is, so I don't want to give a time that is wrong. So we'll get one of the staff to come back to you directly, because we've got.
I've noted down that person's name, so I'll make sure that gets directly passed on to a member of the staff.
So in terms of fundraising, I've got to say that in terms of our sort of ongoing sustainability, we really are really encouraging people to not only consider a one-off donation, but do that direct debit thing. And there's a few folk who, there's some folk who've like they've obviously got the money and they've started up a 50 quid a month direct debit or a 20 quid a month direct debit. The ones that really touch me are the ones that are £5 a month, because to me, what that says is that someone is really placing a value on what we do. And don't get me wrong, if you can do 50 quid, do 50 quid a month. Don't get me wrong. The point I'm trying to make is that if 5 quid a month is what you can do, then in the same way as the challenge that you set yourself, if we can all just put in what we can put in, then we'll be fine. So for me, it's like the other day, I sort of did a bit of a looking at my finance and realised I had a £5 going out for something that I hadn't looked at for ages, and I had another £5 going out for something else that I hadn't looked at for ages. I cancelled both of those and just put the two together and set up a direct debit. So we're encouraging people to do that, because that will make a big difference to us.
And somebody has put in the comments, Mary has put in the comments, an easier way to raise funds is to make a monthly direct debit from your bank, which is what you've just been talking about. You can get all that information from the website.
So you go onto the campaign page and you just, the campaign page has got everything on it. It's got a photo of Phil dressed as an elf. That's the top piece of information.
That's the top viewed picture.
That's the main. If you have a takeaway from this live, I think that you can get a photo of Phil dressed in elf costume. I think that's the main takeaway. Also,
you keep promoting that in the minute, Emma.
I love it. I love that photo. But you could also see from there, you can get a sponsorship form, you can get a wee poster, you can get a video to how to set up a direct debit, you can go onto the local giving page. You can do. We have so got it sussed, by the way. Oh, which leads us nicely onto the question we were going to start chucking out, because we're going to do another wee live stream next week, aren't we?
We are. We're going to do another live stream next Friday as well, I believe it is. I think. And yes, it's basically, if you've heard of our campaign already, or if you haven't, we would like some feedback about how you think the 5 to 10 campaign have gone, how you think we could have maybe done it a little bit better. We would love to hear people's comments. You can comment them on this video and we'll still be able to pick it up. You can send us a direct message on Facebook and let us know your thoughts on how we've done with this campaign. Basically,
And just, if you're watching on replay, then please put any questions or responses in as you're watching, and we will respond to everyone who's commenting.
We'll keep an eye on the comments on this video at all times.
Yeah. And I suppose for me, as someone who's kind of helped to organize the campaign, I'd be really I'm always up for learning, so I'd be really keen to hear if if that first video, if that was really useful, if there was too many Facebook posts, if anyone used a sponsorship form, what worked well. But we're going to be getting into that more next Friday, aren't we? We're going to be doing
we are. Because I think we've taken enough time with these lovely people's Friday nights.
We have.
So thank you to everyone for watching. Thank you for joining me, Emma, and then disappearing and then joining me again.
I just want to put you on the spot.
Yeah, I knew you did it on purpose. I knew it. And thank you to all of you for watching. Do join us again next Friday, and we'll make sure we'll put a post on Facebook about what time we'll be going live to talk a little bit more next week. So thank you very much. And good night, everyone.
Cheery.